March the 29th and no Brexit. You must be gutted.
Yeah. And first thing I want to say is I've just heard your reporter introduce Tommy Robinson as a far-right activist. He's not far-right. If he wasn't, I wouldn't be on a platform with him. He was a democratic activist, and that's why he's joined in alliance with UKIP to put on this thing today. So can we get that straight first of all, please? OK, then, Gerard, moving on. OK, fair enough. Moving on. How's the protest itself going? I mean, why are people so angry that our parliament is sovereign? Because they voted for that in 2016. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. Could you say that again? There's a lot of background noise.
OK, yeah, I appreciate it's noisy there. I mean, how's the protest going? I mean, why do you think the people are so angry that our parliament is proving it is being sovereign here? They voted for that in 2016.
Yes, there is very great anger amongst Leavers because the question was put to the population, to the voters: do you want to remain or do you want to leave? Because the whole political class haven't been able to resolve this issue for the 43 years previously. They asked the people said leave, and they've been totally betrayed ever since for the last 2 years and 9 months. There's tremendous anger, but there's also tremendous resolve that they're not going to just stand by and let this happen. They're going to organise politically. I've been asking people to join UKIP, to help UKIP fight elections so that we can put pro-Brexit candidates into the local elections, into the general election when it comes, and we may well find that we have a European election on our hands, and if that's the case, then UKIP will fight that tooth and nail.
Aren't MPs currently, though, they are doing their job, aren't they? I mean, you'd be the first one to admit that Theresa May's deal isn't Brexit. It isn't what people voted for, is it?
No, it isn't. It's the whole thing is, as I've called it, a not really leaving the EU deal. If we have Mrs May's deal and the political declaration, which hasn't been voted on today, then you might as well have not bothered to leave the European Union. Because you get so many incumbents and obligations, and of course we'll be signed up to the EU army and military and foreign policy obligations and its ambitions, that we might just as well have not bothered. We want a complete exit, unconditional, unilateral withdrawal. That's what UKIP stands for. That's the basis on which we'll be fighting elections as we go forward.
Indeed. Let's also look at the EU. I mean, what they've said, a no deal is more likely, but Parliament's consistently voted against it. Do you think it'll be a long extension, a general election, even a second referendum before there'll be a no deal?
Yes, I can't know for certain what's going to happen. There is a council meeting on the 10th. Our extension comes to an end on the 12th. There's no solution in sight, so I think Mrs May and the European Union will agree on a much longer extension, 6 months, a year, we don't know. But what that means is that then we'll be obliged to go into European elections because we have to under the treaties. Or we could just leave, which is what I've been saying all along. It could happen tonight.